Hey friends, today we are working on deck pairings. I wanted to work on some deck pairings with my Naturescapes Tarot, and this is a photographic deck. It is nature based and it's just beautiful. I think I ended up getting this because I wanted the majestic earth, but it wasn't available. I found out about this one and I said, you know what, I'll take a chance. And I'm so glad that I did. This is such a great deck. And I don't know, I guess at first I thought that it would be difficult to read with, but it ended up being pretty easy. Most of the cards, um, I mean, the artwork or the photographs were so well chosen, and it really does help. With this deck, though, I feel sometimes limited with the oracles that I can pair to it. Look at that King of Pentacles. That's amazing. But anyways, what I thought I would do today is see if we can't come up with some deck pairings for this gorgeous deck, and then kind of go from there. So let me do this. Give it a quick shuffle. Now, the Naturescapes deck came from Make Playing Cards. I love this deck. The only thing I wish, if I ever have the opportunity, is to have a linen version of this deck, which I don't even know if that's possible, but that is the only thing. This cardstock is awesome, but I find with Make Playing Cards that they tend to, you know, get a little bit of a curve, develop a curve. So, anywho, here we go. Oh, look at that. We're going to start here. And I'm going to try this deck here. This deck is a V Love and Crystals deck, and it's the Fortune Cookie Oracle. And there's basically a fortune cookie on every single card, but um, they're all pictures. So I thought we could take a look at these and give it a go. Eight of Swords, and this Eight of Swords couldn't be a better Eight of Swords because the path almost seems trapped. And because there's fog in the landscape and not a lot of sunlight coming in, you do feel that sense of entrapment. And then this fortune cookie here says it's time to stop hiding. And that couldn't be more spot on because sometimes we get lost in the tunnels in our mind and we make excuses to get out of things. I mean, I don't know. I can make an excuse to get out of practically anything when I, when I when I want to. So I love that it says it's time to stop hiding, and I love that this is in fact a dark space. It looks like a cave, but you can see the opening and you can see it's glorious out there if you could just take a step outside of yourself. So I really like that together. Let me rearrange these so I can fit them all in frame. That's better. All right. King of Cups. Remember the forgotten. This is a very zoomed out version of a forest. And here we are face to face with a stump. And it looks like there is, it almost looks like, let me pull this up. Like it could be a stone, a memorial stone. See, remember the forgotten. And I think a lot of times we get lost in the everyday. We progress so much in life. And it's a good reminder to remember where we came from, remember why we are the way that we are, because we were influenced, right? We stumbled across people, we learned from experiences and situations that brought us to this King of Cups moment. But we can't do that without looking back on the past. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so funny. So this one says things will cool down. And then here we have the King of Pentacles. It's very majestic. You can see the snow, right? You can see the green landscape and the beautiful blue water. But if you go up the mountaintop, you will encounter that cooler weather. Things will cool down. Well, what exactly does that mean? When things cool down, things become slower, right? That reminds me of that King of Pentacles energy, right? The seeds that we're planting, the intentions that we're putting out there, they may take a little bit longer to manifest, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. I love that. Ooh. Six of Pentacles and avoid manipulation. Wow. All right. So the Six of Pentacles, that's that card of like give and take, helping others. A lot of times in the RWS, we see, the fancy figure um, handing out, delights, coins, or what have you to um, those who are less fortunate. But a lot of times we see this card depicted as someone who's offering you something, but at a price. And I love this avoid manipulation. And I don't know if you can see, this is a window display, and there are marionettes in there because sometimes there could be someone offering you help, offering you a service, offering you what you seem to need the most at that moment, but it comes with a price tag, it comes with strings attached. Love that. Why, I'm just flabbergasted right now because I would never, like, I hardly use this deck. Like, this is just a play fun deck, the Fortune Cookie Oracle, and I mess around with the kids. I treat it kind of like an 8 ball, and if they ask me for something, I'll be like, oh, well, let's see what the fortune cookie has to say. But it's such a great deck. It's one of my most favorite. I've had a few V Love and Crystals decks. This one is just hands down my favorite one that I've ever picked up from her. And it's such a chunky deck. So here we have the Four of Wands, which is usually a card of celebration. And you can see, how beautiful the tree is blooming. It has shed some on the ground, but it makes it look, I don't know if you've ever like gone for a walk and you walk under a tree that has just shed. It just makes the ground look so much more beautiful. I just love that. And then it's paired with establish healthy boundaries. It's like that ever present reminder that it's so important when we invite people into our lives, to set up those boundaries from the get go, right? And sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But as situations arise and things present themselves, address it right there in that moment. Because if you let it go the first time, then it makes it more difficult the second time to say something, and the third time, and the fourth time. And before you know, it's become a habit. And it blocks us from experiencing these Four of Wands moments. Oh, this is so great. I'll do one more. Ooh, Six of Swords. This is such a great card for Six of Swords. Appreciate the simple things, right? Because sometimes we're in these like crazy situationships. It could be anything. It could be work, it could be a home situation, a romantic situation, a friendship that has, gone to the wayside. And you get to the point where you have to make a decision. You have to choose, like, am I going to continue doing what I'm doing, or am I going to break ties, move away, and head towards something better for me? And we get caught up in a bunch of things that don't matter. Oh, but I'm so used to having this person in my life. I'm so used to doing everything together with so and so. I'm so used to, helping this person out. They won't be able to function if I don't help them. We make all kinds of excuses. And sometimes you have to kind of brush all those things away and go down to the basics, right? Happiness, mental health, wellness. If it is not contributing to those things in your life, then it's time to sail away. It really is. Oh, I love these cards together. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, okay, okay. I know I said one more. Ooh, Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups is glorious. I mean, look at that. It's stunning. Ace of Cups set the bar high, right? When you are presented with that new opportunity, set your bar high. Don't let things come into your life that are going to bring you down, right? Invite things into your life where you both help each other out to progress. Love it. All right. So I'm going to put this deck away. It's very lovely. My cats are frolicking in the background, so you might hear them fooling around because, of course, we have the tree up and they're just tickled. Tickled, tickled, tickled. All right. Next deck, also a V Love and Crystals deck. Now, this deck, the reason that I purchased this deck is I don't experience this in Florida. And I miss this sometimes because I grew up in a place where there was winter, there was snow, there was cold, and sometimes I miss that. And I got the deck because I thought that it would help me kind of, reconnect with the memories that I have of the cold weather, right? Because let's face it, like it's beautiful to look at like this, but actually dealing with the elements is a whole other story. Okay, so we have Knight of Cups and Outlook, right? And that's so interesting because the Knight of Cups, like knights, they're actionary figures, but they have different motivations. And with the cups here, we're leading with the heart and taking action with the heart. And the Outlook card is kind of asking us to maybe take a step back and look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes we get too zoomed in to what we're doing or what we're trying to do. And I think what this card is asking us is to kind of take a few steps back and look at the full picture. Love it. Mm. Ooh, we have the Hermit and Destination, right? And we have two opposing scenes here. Look how far that mountaintop seems from the space where this photo may have been taken. That is the journey of the hermit, right? We usually see the hermit on a mountaintop with his lantern, um, taking some time for self, some time for self reflection, introspection, and pulling away from the things or the people in life that kind of influence us, right? In order for us to find ourselves. So here we have the Hermit card, very filtered light coming in into this forest, limited visibility, very up close. Here you have your destination point. So important to remember when we're going into these hermit modes or stepping into this hermit energy, this is not a forever place. This is you're passing through and you do have a destination. You do have an end goal. Oh, that's pretty. Enlightenment with the star. And I love how the skies are almost very, very similar in color here. You can see the beautiful stars in the sky. This is a card of hope, of inspiration, and enlightenment, right? Because the star comes after a difficult or trying moment in your life. But afterwards, you do have this epiphany, you have this moment, this where you're enlightened, where you understand why things happened the way that they happened and how to move forward from here. Beautiful. Ooh. Nine of Swords and Alchemy. Alchemy to me always reminds me of the magician. And then here we have the Nine of Swords. And this is that card of night tremors, of letting our fears overcome us, overwhelm us, not being able to get proper night's rest, carrying everything in our mind and not allowing an opportunity to download. There's like no visibility here, no visibility. You can't see or attempt to even make out what's going to happen next. But alchemy is reminding us that we have the power. We have the power, the abilities, the tools in order to do what we need to do. And sometimes by rearranging a few things, mixing a few ingredients, we can come up with something better, something tastier than what we originally had. But it requires us to be in the mindset to create, to experiment, to try different things. And you can't do that if you're in a space of fear. You have to let that go in order to allow for this to happen. These are pretty cool together. Ooh, this chariot card blows my mind every single time. It's stunning. And here we have the chariot and loneliness, right? Because when you are charting your own path, going your own way, oftentimes you could be doing something. Guarantee there's going to be at least one person that thinks, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think you should do this. There's always that naysayer, right? You know what you need to do and you know that you need to press forward. And sometimes when you have someone who is not supporting you in the things that you need to do, then you do need to kind of separate. It opens up that space of loneliness because this is a one person operation, right? Only you can get you where you need to be. And that should bring an awareness that it's more than likely something that you're going to end up having to do on your own. Something that you're going to have to do on your own. It can feel lonely at times when people don't understand your vision, don't understand your passions, don't understand why everything is fine the way that it is. Why do you have to change? Why do you have to take the harder road? Why do you have to, challenge yourself in this way? Um, we do end up feeling this this loneliness, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth it to go. It's not, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Okay, we'll do one more and then I'll think I'll try a different deck. Oh, this is really pretty together. Two of Cups and Progress. I love this little waterfall. I grew up in a town that had a waterfall, and a lot of people went there to think. Um, and a lot of people also went there to share. Um, Maybe romantic, maybe friendships. Lots of friends went there for photographs. Couples would hold hands, embrace, look at the falls. And that's what this Two of Cups is all about, right? This is something that it's just such a beautiful journey. In fact, here you see like this very long pier, and there are people walking up and down, kind of sharing in the moment, sharing in the experience. And this allows and opens up for progress down the road when you're getting out there, meeting new people, trying new things. It allows for us to progress. Now that could be progress as in things develop, or progress as in realizing this person is not for you. But I really believe that every single person that comes into your life comes in for a very specific reason. And um, sometimes it's to teach you something. So be open to the progress, be open to the experiences. Oh, these are pretty. All right. I'm going to put this one away. So far, I really like the fortune cookie one with this, but I have one more deck that I want to try. And that is this one here. This is Denise Lynn Sacred Destiny. Now, this was a regular standard Oracle card size, but I trimmed my deck, and so I have this really cool size. It makes it a lot easier for me to shuffle. Um, and recently I've been seeing this deck featured a lot in different walkthroughs or pairings. And most of the time I've seen it with the borders. And I almost thought like, oh, they look good with the borders, but I don't know. At the time I was feeling, the trim, and I did it, and I don't regret it. Um, but they're beautiful either way. So let's see. You can see I wasn't perfect. There's a card that I got too short there. It was one of the first ones that I think that I used the guillotine for. This is when I, progressed from scissor to guillotine. Okay, let's see. Ooh, temperance and focus. I love this image of temperance. It's really beautiful. You kind of see this like waterfall here, but there's this moving water down here. It's like one body of water pours into another one and becomes something else. And I have actually seen something like this, not with the waterfall, but in real life. When I was visiting Puerto Rico, I went to a place where a river led out into the ocean. And it was so fascinating to watch those two come together to form a new body of water. So here we have temperance, right? This is combining two things that you normally wouldn't combine, finding the sweet spot in order to make things work, and the card of focus. Because for me, when you're doing this type of work, temperance, right? You do have to be hyper focused because it's a trial and error, right? And you may try multiple combinations before you get it just right. But in order to do that, you have to stay focused. You have to take notes. You have to really think about what you've tried, why it has worked or not worked, and then try again. So I love that message together. So here we have trust and the lovers. I mean, those are perfect together. And the lovers usually speaks to, it could be two people that are coming into a union. That could certainly be it. I often think of this as a card of a decision, an important decision. And here we see two rows of lavender under this glorious sky, and trust, because trust is something that is so very important before we embark on these types of commitments, whether it be a commitment to a decision, a commitment to a situation, a commitment to another person. You need to have a certain level of trust, even in business, right? You would never enter into a business partnership or a negotiation with someone that you didn't trust. You have to build that. So it's a great, great pairing, these two, I think. Ooh, oh my goodness. Nine of Pentacles and potential, right? This card as a Nine of Pentacles is so great. So, so great. I like it with the little boat there. It's so idyllic. The scenery, everything is so green and lush. And you really and truly can see the potential of what could be, right? If you did any kind of journeying and you stepped into this card, you visualize yourself here in this place, think of the potential of all the things that you could do and the experiences that you could have. I love it. This deck is a landscape deck, but it does have a few animals sprinkled in here and there. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have Five of Swords with this beach. But look, even the sand or the soil is very dark. It's very foggy, overcast. It's not good weather. The water is rough. And then we have flexibility, because in these moments, right? In these moments, we usually have in the Rider Waite, the one character that has apparently bested two other people, and the other two are walking away. And you often ask yourself, at what cost? Was it worth it? And this is reminding us that sometimes you have to be flexible, right? You can't win every single thing. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes, if each party gives a little bit up and you compromise, you can both actually win. But in order to do that, you have to be flexible. Wow. Ooh, that's interesting. We just had Five of Swords, and here we have Five of Wands. Oh my word. Five of Wands, healing, chaos. Wow. Five of Wands is, that competitive energy that sometimes goes awry and turns into something worse, something, that you didn't anticipate. And that's what this reminds me of. Um, you know, Sorry about that. I ran out of battery. So I am going to pick up where I think I left off, which was right here. Five of Wands and healing chaos. Now, Five of Wands is that energy where something that starts out small blows up and gets out of control. It turns into something bigger than us. So, here, that could have been a match, a lighter, an unattended campfire. It has gotten out of control. The forest is engulfed. We have that with healing chaos. And I feel like this is such a reminder that even in these turbulent times after, because this is the thick of the moment, afterwards, when the fire is put out and you're dealing with all of the cleanup and devastation, in those moments, it's hard to deal with, it's hard to understand, and it's hard to kind of figure out how you're gonna get through a situation like that. But I feel like this is a reminder that there is gonna be an opportunity for healing, an opportunity for teaching you something that you didn't know. This experience is going to grow you in a way that you never dreamed of or anticipated. But at the end, there's going to be a transformative situation that comes out of it. And you can see all the butterflies here in the Healing Chaos card because you know what? After all is said and done, this forest is gonna regenerate. It's gonna regenerate. And so are you. So remember that when you're going through these tough situations, this too shall pass. All right. So we will do one more. Three of Wands. Ooh, and going forward. How cool are these together? So, Three of Wands, that card of putting your plans into place and getting one step closer to kicking everything off. It's a time of growth, of expansion. That's what threes kind of signify. Here we can see uh, all of the boats that are anchored below, ready to kind of set sail and take off on their adventures, their journeys. And the same here, going forward. This is kind of an invitation to say, yes, it's okay to do this. Whatever this thing is that you're wanting to do, yes, go for it. Go forward because the path is clear, it's well lit, and it's gonna be glorious. Oh, these are so cool together. All right, so I'm gonna set these aside. I feel like where I thought I didn't have anything to go with this naturescapes, I feel like no, I do. Um, this deck, this photographic deck is just, I don't know, it's just something else. It's a beauty. It's so special. And again, I thought that it would be challenging to read with, but I find it to be easier than what I imagined. easier than what I imagined because the images um, lend to the energies of the cards. So so good. So yes. So I think here we have had successful pairings with the Emperor. Now I wanna say that my favorite here, let me cut the deck so we can get something new. I feel like my favorite was this fortune cookie oracle, right? And then I'll cut this deck here. Look at this. And then here. You could almost put all four of them together in a reading. How about that? How about we end it that way? So here we have the Emperor. This is card 4 tied to Aries, connected to Mars. This is a card of structure, of leadership, of control. And here we have the reminder to stay grounded. Stay grounded in the things that you are trying to manage, right? Don't let yourself get too far up in the clouds. There will be adversity when you're working with this kind of energy. There will be, but that's a guarantee. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be challenging challenges. There'll be stumbling blocks. There'll be people who get in the way and kind of, stop you or deter you from pursuing what it is that you're going to pursue. This is an invitation to pursue anyways. And then a reminder that whatever we do, we should do from a place of love, right? We should always try to have love in our hearts, because when we do things from a place of fear, it just doesn't work. I don't know that it's possible to do anything in fear. Um, but when you come from a space of love, then I feel like all things are possible. Look at these blooms, look at the expansion, look at the growth, right? That comes at the end of what could be a difficult path filled with challenges, stumbling blocks. But if you stay grounded, you can reach this ending here. So cool. These are so cool together. I like them. I almost want to do one more. Should we do one more? Let me see. Ooh, okay. So here, Ace of Wands. So this is a new opportunity in, could be a project, a passion project, something new that is coming your way. I love this image here with the sun um, rising. Is just like that experience of, with a sunrise like this, anything is possible, right? But as per usual, anytime that we're dealing with something new, we are going to have to tread in areas that we may not have before, in spaces that are new for us or uncomfortable for us. Things may not be as clear because we've not done this one specific thing before. So, this is a reminder that things could potentially be unclear, but guess what? There's going to be hidden knowledge, right? Hidden knowledge that is there for you to learn. If it's hidden, you would have had to have go through this unclear space to get to it, which makes it all the more, it reminds me of like a hidden treasure, right? You have to work hard to find it and to get to it, but when you get to it, it makes it all the more worth it. So there will be hidden knowledge to glean from this opportunity. And this here, I love this as a reminder or maybe an advice card to keep things simple, right? Because with wands energy, fire energy, things can kind of get out of control real fast. Because we want to do this and we want to do that, and we want to be here, and we want to be there, and da 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 da. So here's your reminder, keep it simple, you guys. Keep it simple. You are gonna come out on top with this one. There is gonna be um, things that you learn from this experience, and don't lose heart, even if things are unclear, because remember, at the very beginning, you were presented this gift, and it's yours to do something really splendid and magnificent with. Oh, these are good. I feel like I may be adding these decks to my December decks because these are looking pretty good. I like them. I like them a lot. All right. Well, that is what I have for you, friends. Thank you so, so much for watching and experimenting with me as I try to pair up my decks to find the best combinations, the most, the perfect pairs. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.